Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another special episode of Herschel Talkers. Georgia coming off a great win over Auburn, 21-14. Got another big challenge this week at Texas A&M. How we doing today, Big Sean?
Doing great, Big Trey. How we doing?
Doing great. We got a great interview we recorded with legendary UGA safety Greg Blue. Greg Blue's the man. He took some time to talk about the old days and talk about current Georgia roster. Georgia jumped up 21-0 and then kind of ran out of gas a little bit in the fourth, but got a big win on the road, 21-14 at Jordan Hare. It's always big beating the Gus Bus. Sean, what was your thoughts on the game? I know you were a little busy, but you were able to pay attention to it later. Sean was at a gala this past week. What were your thoughts?
Well, I mean, you got another outstanding performance from the defense again. They made big plays. I'll tell you, despite the fact I think the receivers have been rather maligned, you got another big play from one of those freshman wide receivers in Dominic Blaylock. Obviously, we didn't put up a whole lot of points, but you're on the road. You're playing a great Auburn defense, and it seemed like we did enough to get the win, and at the end of the day, we're moving on, survive and advance.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are questioning on the offense, but Jake Fromm did get 3 touchdowns, things like 110 yards, DeAndre Swift over 100. But you definitely got to give it to that defense. Shut down for 3 quarters. I think that's the first time a Auburn-led Gus Malzahn team has been scoreless for 3 quarters. So definitely a great win. Also love Kirby Smart after the game giving Trayvon Walker the chest bump. And his hashtag quote, "How about them fucking dogs," was said. Great. I'm sure there's going to be T-shirts made out there. But this week got another tough challenge with Texas A&M coming into Athens. Looks like it's going to be a little rainy. 3:30 CBS is senior night. Kellerman and Jimbo Fisher is going to be a great task and competition. What are we looking to see this week, Sean, against Texas A&M?
Well, I mean, obviously it's going to start with the defense again, and you're looking for a solid performance out of them. Again, it's kind of a no-name defense, but they do, cover and tackle very well. I think Texas A&M is a little bit more one-dimensional than they were last year. It seems like they struggle running the ball. And quietly, Texas A&M actually has a top 25 defense. So, again, I'm not really looking for us to necessarily score a whole lot of points. But I do think that, we get the win somewhere, 24-10, 27-14, somewhere in there. I think we'll score more than we did against Auburn, again, just due to the fact that we're at home, and at least on paper and statistically speaking, A&M's defense isn't what Auburn's is.
Yeah, I agree. Point spread's 13. I'm going to put it right at the point spread. I'm going to go 27-14. It seems like we always stall out and kick some field goals. But I like is hopefully we take care of business, lean on them in the third and fourth quarter. Kellerman, he struggles on the road. It'll be a little rainy, but basically impose our will. I like us hopefully get out of there with no injuries. And then we'll have clean, old-fashioned hate. The Nerds, Georgia Tech, will play them next weekend after Thanksgiving. And then we did clinch the SEC East, so we'll have that big-time showdown in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta against LSU. Coach Ogeron and Joe Burrow, Heisman Trophy contender. So that'll be big. But got a great episode coming up with interview coming up with Greg Blue. And enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Herschel Talkers. We got another returning guest, Georgia great, Greg Blue, safety. Always big fans of him. He played for Georgia from 2001 to 2005. How are we doing today, Greg?
Yes, 0105.
That's right. How we do? And what college are you coaching with again, Greg?
I'm at Reinhardt University, right up here in Waleska, Georgia, right up in Cherokee County.
Okay. How long you been there?
This year 5 right here. 5
Okay.
years.
All right, we got Big Sean on there. You can start off, Sean.
Hey, Greg, I appreciate you giving some of your time to us, man.
No problem.
I told you before, and I don't say this to every player, but without question, you were my favorite Bulldog player, man. I mean, you just left it all out on the field, man.
Might as well.
we have a group of friends. We actually went to Georgia, Florida, and we always usually bring up a Greg Blue story or you got Greg Blue. So we like you're infamous in Dog Nation with us for those great hits.
Oh, like I tell my kids, don't make me Greg Blue you.
That's a good one. I gotta start using that one.
You should.
Exactly. It's kind of like they got Zeus White. It used to be Blue, I believe, right?
Yeah,
Greg
Blue.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you follow in Georgia this year. Got number 2 defense. What's been your thoughts on the Georgia defense for this year? Just stifling, and it's been great watching.
Mean defense, mean and young. So that's gonna be a part of Georgia football in the next couple of years, also.
They've been compared recently to 2017. I know they don't have like a great star like Roquan Smith or any of those other guys. What do you think makes them great compared to 2017 from what you've seen?
And it's just they got 11 guys out there flying around, doing the job and making plays. It's probably a no-name defense, no-name great defense right there.
And I know Dan Lanning, he's that's Dan Lanning, right? He's the new coach this year. What do you see the defense compared to? I know Kirby's probably got his hands in it, probably 50% of it, but compared to Mel Tucker's defense, just I know you being a defensive coordinator, what do you see the difference, and is the philosophy different? Or it's about the same setup?
Yeah, it's gonna be same setup. You know, your secondary older. You got an older secondary, you can really do some things, and they understand the defense, so you can do more things with them.
Greg, and you both, you kind of were in the unique position of kind of playing in an era where you were allowed to be more aggressive, I guess, tackling, and you're now coaching, I guess, in an era after a lot of the concussion protocol stuff is coming out where, I guess, they've tried to, I guess, cut back on helmet-to-helmet hits and stuff like that. How much more difficult is it today playing defensive back, do you think, than it was in your era?
It's much difficult because nobody ain't scared to run certain routes anymore. So you got to cover everything these days, but you still can lay hits and everything. You just got to, be careful on where you target at. But it's definitely much difficult because nobody's scared anymore. Receivers can run wherever they want to go.
Do you think the game is the quality of the game is as good as it was before the rule changes? I mean, obviously, I understand you got to protect players or whatever, but
I just, it can get boring at times because when we think of football, we think of violence and hard hits and stuff like that, and it's definitely done change. And I rarely watch the NFL like I used to now. It's not the same no more. All the flags, and it's you really can't touch nobody, be physical without getting a flag these days. Can't touch the quarterback, so I guess I'm just gonna stay in it, till they stop. Try to make me a little money doing it, and it is what it is, I guess.
I know it was a big topic last week if you called it the Myles Garrett situation. What'd you think about that? Do you think he deserved the 6 games? I know it's crazy, him picking up a helmet and swinging it at him, but it looks like he was provoked. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think he deserved it? Or?
He's got I think it's one of them rules, written rules in the locker room. You just can't swing that helmet. That can kill somebody right there, especially with got helmets off. You don't want that to happen right there. It gets. There's gonna be times like that where a guy just tick you off where you don't. You may want to fight or that, but when you swing your helmets, Myles Garrett would have killed that man. What would have happened? That's how you gotta look at it. And that's how he gotta look at it too. He wouldn't dare want that on. He gotta live with that for the rest of life.
That's a good point, actually. So it almost makes it, when you're looking at it that way, it almost got off easy,
Yeah. And he probably need to be thanking the Lord that he didn't cause that type of damage to the man.
That's true. I know with you coaching, you've got your hands full or whatever. Have you had, I imagine you've had some opportunity to watch Georgia's defense, though, so far
Yeah,
this year.
yeah. I'm always find some type of way if it's recorded or watching. If I can catch it live, if our game's different, or just catch a replay, I'm gonna check them out.
Yeah, I mean, from what you've seen, if you're an offensive coordinator that's got the unenviable task of trying to attack that defense, any thoughts on, some potential ways to do that? I know it's difficult, but.
Ooh. It is difficult. I think don't panic, and you gotta try to do some different things. Do different things, make them move. I guess move guys around and try to confuse them some. But if you just line up and try to just run up down the throat, it's not gonna happen. So you just gotta do different things, give them different looks that they haven't saw, catch them off guard type of deal. But it's a tough defense. It's you got to do different things.
Yeah, we wanted to ask you on a reverse question. So they got the task of playing, the high-powered LSU, number one in the nation, who's been blowing out everybody and scoring 40 or 50 points. What do you think Georgia needs to do on a defensive side, try to slow down Joe Burrow and LSU in the SEC championship game?
Well, you definitely got to give them some different looks, a couple of disguises, and number one, I think our secondary got to cover. We got to cover. We got to be able to cover those receivers out there. If we can't cover those guys, it's going to be a long game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to run on them pretty good, but yeah, I'm a little worried about the secondary. What's the guy's name? Chase. I think he's number one on the team. He's probably their toughest receiver. He's putting up crazy numbers.
Yeah, he's a bad boy. And guys like him, you got to try to get hands on them. Find a way to slow him down and stay in his face. But you just can't let this guy just run up and down the field without being touched, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I guess to go over to the opposite side of the ball, it seems like the offense has struggled a little bit this year. From what you've seen, what do you think their biggest issues have been as far as, putting up points?
Oh, man. I don't know, it's been a different year. I'm used to a couple. I don't play on Georgia teams where we don't have those offenses at times where it's just sometimes just some years it be harder than others. But we're still winning. I know the fans and everybody else want more points. We got a Heisman Trophy type of quarterback guy. You got the running backs. But I think you gotta get the ball down the field though. We gotta open up the passing game, as in getting the ball down the field. Because if they're not scout our receivers, they just go stack the box on them. So and they go, and that's what I do. I make Jake Fromm beat me. You ain't stop the run and make them throw the ball to those receivers. And until they mature more, I guess if you want to say it, make more plays, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to try to make Jake Fromm great, not Swift and the other guys. I'm going to try to, put as much guys in the box and play some get some big corners out there and put hands on receivers and see, is Fromm the guy everybody say he is? Can he make those plays? And can the receivers make those plays?
Well, I know a lot of Georgia fans, Kirby's kind of got that pro-style offense, kind of grinded out 3 yards and dust. Do you think Georgia, maybe after this year, needs to change to, I guess, more of the spread offense, what, LSU and the Alabamas are doing? And I know we got a great defense. Or you think it needs to change?
I wouldn't say that, but I know when you face tougher defenses, it's going to be a tough game if, we continue probably doing the same thing. But I think, I wouldn't say you had to, be Alabama or, the new LSU now. But you got to find a way to get some productivity from your outside guys and get the ball, spread the field out some, as in throwing the ball deep and, making guys play coverage instead of stacking up on the run the whole time.
And then I know it's been a popular topic the last couple of months, but I'm going to get your thoughts being a previous player on the Fair Pay to Play Act that they're working on. Do you agree with that, or do you think there are any thoughts on that?
I'll tell you this. I wish they would have had something going on like that when I was
Right.
when I was in school. It was tough living back in the day. Roman noodles type of deal. Back then wasn't nothing outside your little. Once you moved out campus, your little scholarship, it wasn't nothing. Once you paid your bills, then you scrapping.
Right.
So I think players, it's just tough because all the schools can't afford it.
Yeah.
Every player ain't gonna be able to get the same thing as the kids at Georgia get. My kids at my school right here won't be able to get the same thing as Georgia get. The schools just don't have the money for it. So that that's gonna be the issue. Probably not with the bigger schools, but the smaller schools. Everybody just can't afford to just throw out that type of money.
Do you think it needs to be capped? So, for example, Jake Fromm or DeAndre Swift might get, video game money or jersey money, but then, maybe the left guard that no one knows of, he probably won't get too much. Do you think it needs to be like a limit or capped? Or?
Oh, that's a good one, man. Honestly, I'm for the players. I'm with the players. So whatever,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with the player. Whatever it is, I guess if they go market you like that and sell your jerseys with your name on it and your pictures all on TV and they make a lot of money. Pay them up. If you go be the guy on the video game, the cover of a video game and all that, pay them up. It just sucks that everybody ain't gonna get the same money, but I guess it is what it is. I guess if you want that type of money, I guess you got to make some more plays or something so they can market you the same way.
We were tailgating in Georgia-Florida game in Jacksonville. I think I did see one Greg Blue jersey out there, so it's out there.
Yeah.
It was out there.
That's awesome. I'm good with one. As long as it's one. It's been so long since I've been there. I'm just happy somebody still remember me.
The funniest was had several guys was wearing 16 Kirby Smart jersey, had Smart on the back, like old school, and that was kind of funny.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
One question I wanted to ask you, unrelated to this current season, was, at least when I was at Georgia, it seemed like the Bailey brothers were pretty active as far as coming back. I think Champ may have even been working on his degree.
Yes.
Was Champ Bailey any sort of like a mentor or kind of like an older brother to you when you were at Georgia?
I really didn't have no big brother.
Well, you're probably the biggest person in the room most of the time, right?
Yeah. I really didn't have no big brother or somebody, help guide me, mentor to help guide me through. I kind of went through it, learned on my own. But that's what I'm trying to help these players out today, especially guys I coach and young guys I meet. I try to be that to them, trying to, lead them the right way and get them some of the ins and outs what I didn't get, so they better be prepared, better prepared for life and different situations that may occur.
No, that's good.
Yeah, you redshirted in 2001, is that correct?
Yeah, I was a prop, whatever you call it.
Prop 48, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know things are a little different now. Do you glad you went through the whole redshirt process, or do you wish you would have kind of?
I thank the Lord that He gave me that opportunity, because I think a couple years after that they stopped doing it. So
okay,
I got lucky. I could have easily been in JUCO or somewhere else at Marshall somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I thank the Lord on that. I got lucky.
Okay. You might have been on like Last Chance U or something, right?
Yeah, I did, most definitely, and that would have been, a heartbreaker for me, because all I want, I didn't want to take that detour right there, to going to Georgia. So I'm just blessed, and thank the Lord, Coach Rick them, kept recruiting me and, honored the scholarship.
Yeah, well, obviously it ended up being huge for the University of Georgia as well,
Yeah.
both on and off the field.
Yep.
One question I had, because you're an assistant coach now, and so I've always kind of wondered, like, what's the process, or like, is there like a general evaluation criteria for how you go from being, I guess, like an administrative assistant to then a position coach and then to a coordinator?
It varies at every place you go to. It varies.
Oh.
You can go to places where some guys ain't never played football, but they know the right people, or some teams may just need a coach and you the only one want to come. So it varies from school to school, But the bigger schools have a bigger I say the bigger schools have a bigger or more process than the smaller schools do.
Sure.
Definitely you got the bigger schools experience. You have like coordinator have you called plays before, or stuff like that. But smaller schools they go ask for it, but some schools they just need a coach. My first school I coached at in college, they needed a coach because too many people didn't want to come. It's only about 2 people wanted to come coach there, and then somehow I got it. So I'm lucky to get it. So I didn't, I don't think I had was playing experience. Luckily, I was a smart football player that, it was easy to learn.
Have you been able to watch the Last Chance U series?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that pretty realistic what those guys go through? I know it's basically it's a one and done. It's a pass through, but are the coaches portrayed pretty well in there? I know it's a documentary, but I thought it was interesting how the path of those players and the coaches, what they kind of go through. Is that pretty realistic?
Well,
what you saw?
I honestly, that was my first time actually just really paying attention to the JUCO, but I'm not surprised, because I done had coaches at Georgia there, and they jump you real hard. You got to have real thick skin, so I'm not surprised that those guys coach with a baseball bat there.
It was just real interesting. Like the last guy, Jason, I think, coach. He was one of a kind.
Yeah, he was, and I know back in the day. I don't know about today. I don't know about today at the big level, but back in the day, I done heard some things that wow, you don't want to repeat, and you just gotta suck it up, shut up, keep it under your breath, and keep on moving.
Well, of course I didn't play, but I heard Van Gorder he called some people out. I heard that.
Oh yeah, he'll call you out. Yeah, he'll call you out. Cause we had some guys. Coach Rick, he's the good guy. Now he has some dogs over there now that'll jump you now.
Yeah, I know Coach Rick went through some health problems recently with heart attack. Were you able to reach out to him or shoot him text?
I wasn't able to reach out to him, but man, I'm just happy that he got past that. Very, very happy he got past it, because that's that coaching stuff it can do it. It can do it. We gotta really take care of ourselves too, and we can forget to take care of ourselves because we take care, 100 plus players. But we gotta remember we gotta take care of ourselves, eat right, and work out ourselves, or our health can deteriorate.
Yeah. Do you as you're coaching this new generation of players, you hear so much about like cell phones, social media. Do you find their attention spans are shorter than like they were in your era?
Ooh.
Or is that like overrated?
Man, it's about the same. It depends on who the coach is. Some coaches, you want to pay attention to them, and so I'm like, man, I'm about to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So it depends on you got to bring energy to your room. My thing is I'm gonna break I'm gonna try my best to bring energy. I could get bored sometimes, but I'm gonna try to bring energy. I'm gonna try to crack jokes with you. I'm gonna try to keep you going where you paying attention. But you'll have some guys where you like, man, it just it's nothing to it.
Well, for example, that's a good question by Sean. Like, for example, after the Georgia lost South Carolina, it was a terrible loss. And I think, Fromm and Kirby Smart had to hear the noise because, if you Twitter and all the forums and the websites, they're just bashing Fromm. The offense sucks. And what are they going to do? That's when I think social media is kind of a negative. You got to block out the noise. But everybody has cell phones, so everybody hears it. So it's hard to probably keep it all within the team,
Yep. Yeah. But when you go to big schools like that, especially Georgia, you gotta understand that's what they've been doing. He ain't the first quarterback to, get treated like that. I done been around quarterbacks when I was at Georgia, lost that South Carolina game, and they had them signs up right around their Jeep back then too. So it's just a part of it. When you go to big schools like that, and when you got a passionate fan base like that, you gonna be critiqued at every inch by everybody. And really, you just gotta, like the fan stuff. You gotta ignore it. You gotta ignore it. They gonna say some things that make you mad, but guess what? That's what they do. You gonna have commentators and newspapers. Guess what? That's how they sell papers. You just gotta look at it in a realistic view, I guess, and understand that's just their job, and that's how they get paid, and I guess that's how schools get paid too, because they advertise you on the low.
Yeah, I was doing some research. Look back. I know you went 1-3 while you were at Georgia against Florida, it was great to get a win, and I believe 2-2 against Auburn. And I was going to ask you, what's your most memorable or your favorite game you played in, or the one you remember? I know it's been a ways, but if you had to pick one, or maybe best environment or game, I know it's tough, but
best game,
that you can remember, maybe.
I got more than that's one best game. I know all the games they were always fun. The South Carolina games gonna be fun and competitive. LSU's gonna be fun, especially going to their place right there because it's something different.
Oh, yeah.
I say LSU probably. LSU, that was fun because you going to a place where you don't play LSU a lot, so going Death Valley, things like that, and getting experience.
Is that the loudest place? Is that the loudest place you think? Because they always say that's the loudest. Just the way it's set up. LSU, Baton Rouge.
I tell you this: if you got a high-ranked Georgia, you got a high-ranked Auburn, South Carolina, you got a loud game. So even in Athens, you got a loud game. I remember we played Clemson that first year, my first year playing in Athens. That was a loud game there, and Sanford, wasn't considered one of the loud places, but it was a loud game. So I think it depends on the ranking of the teams and the record and what time the game is. It's not at noon. Night games, you go get a crazy, crazy, crazy game.
We had Sean Bailey on a couple weeks ago. We'll have another couple questions for you. We were talking about 12 o'clock games, and maybe he didn't kind of want to mention it, but he kind of agreed that, if you're playing Vanderbilt or Ole Miss and not playing, Auburn or Alabama or Florida, is there kind of
a little bit of a lull?
A little bit of a lull because you just see, not being motivated. I know you guys aren't supposed to say that, but mentally as a player, were you like, these boys aren't that good, being honest. Is that how it is? It's hard to get up 12 games, right?
Well, to be honest, you get a new game. That's a game that you're not used to. Yeah. You can come out real sleepy.
There it is.
Yeah. It can happen. I saw kids do it. It happened to us. We had an early game, and we got there kind of early. Some of the kids took a nap in the locker room because we had a couple hours before we walked out, man, and we started the game like we were still asleep. So it can happen. You gotta. Those the games right there. You really got to jump on them and keep their attention because you can easily come out slow. Easily come out slow. It's not a big crowd. It's not that top 10 matchup. You can easily come out slow. And that's the game I think probably the hardest you got to coach those games right there. Because the players go do it. Let's be real. They go do it. They see the matchups also. They see it's Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, what you would say, 2-5 and something like that.
Yeah.
Like, man, blah 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 blah. It can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen. So
I agree.
that's where you got to coach. You got to be extra right there in that game right there. Because I got to do it on this level. I got to be extra, and I don't have to jump kids doing warm-up. Like, they just going through the motions. Like, come on, man. You got a game to play. It's another different color, different jersey across the field right here. It's time to play. You got to wake up, and guess what? I kind of know how it goes. I can tell by the energy doing warm-ups. You know, how it's going to start off.
Tennessee was a pretty big program. I mean, they still are, but it seemed. Are you kind of surprised by how much they've struggled or fallen? I know they've kind of made a little bit of a comeback of lately, but
not if you understand how recruiting's going now. If you look at their past success, they had a lot of top guys, especially out of Georgia, and they're not getting them guys no more.
Yeah,
they're not getting them. Man. You got Georgia winning most guys. You got. You know, you're going to have your Alabamas and Auburn's come in, get their guys. Ohio State go slip down and get some of the guys. It just, the quality players they want, they're going somewhere else now.
Yeah.
And they're not getting them.
As a recruit, and maybe it was a little bit different for you because of the Prop 48 thing, but in your opinion, does it impact a recruit's decision if a program is struggling like a Tennessee is in terms of whether or not he's going to want to go to that school over like a Georgia or an Auburn or an Alabama?
It depends on the guy, the person, the recruit. Some recruits don't want to be on our team, or some recruits believe, you know what, if I go there, I'm gonna change that program.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends. It depends on the guy. You know, and I know personally with me, I just wanted. I didn't care too much about that. It wasn't like Georgia was like 10-1 every year when I signed. I just wanted to make sure I'm around a bunch of guys that was like me and that I can relate to and get along with for 4 to 5 years. That was my big deal. But some guys are like that. Some guys don't want to be part of losing programs. They want to be around the best. Some guys want to be the difference maker and change the program. So it depends on the guy, on the recruit.
Who else? We might have mentioned last time. Who else heavily recruited you during your process, and who would have maybe been if Georgia you didn't get in Georgia? Who would have been maybe your second pick?
Well, it started strong. Like I was getting offers definitely out, SEC schools and the schools in the South. A couple, Big Ten schools. Then once the first scores came out, they started going away. Miami was my first offer.
Oh.
That was my first offer.
Who was the coach back then? I forget. 2000.
Was it
2001?
Probably like Butch Davis, right?
Yeah, that's why it probably was. But that was my first offer.
Okay.
That was my first offer. So you had a ton of those. Then once they see that ACT score, they shy away. But Georgia stayed hard on me. I know North Carolina State stayed hard on me. Marshall always stayed there. I had a couple schools still there, when I was going through my, process.
And you mentioned that one thing that was key as far as you were as a player was, you kind of wanted to go to a school with guys that were kind of like you. Who were the guys that you were, we all have those lifelong college friends. On those Georgia teams you played on, who was kind of your clique?
Oh, who? I had some crazy friends now. I didn't hang around too many good guys. I did, but my guy had some crazy guys. Odell, Thurman. Now Thomas Davis is a good guy. I hung around Chocolate too. Me and Chocolate close. We was rivals in high school. But Odell, Thurman, Derek White, a couple of guys. But I'm the guy. I'm the one stay out of trouble, but I hung around the tough kids who like to rumble in the jungle.
Hey, speaking of that, it can be clean. You got like maybe a short Odell Thurman story you can maybe tell about it? Did he ever get like hot at practice, want to fight anybody? Or I don't know. We just always hear stories about Odell.
You know what? He wasn't. He wasn't. His story is dealing with his 7 foot tall girlfriend.
Okay.
He's 6 feet and she's 7 feet.
Was she on the basketball team?
Yeah, she was on the basketball team, and she get mad at him. She'll hit him like a man. And hey, I broke up one night. She hit me. I said, "Don't worry, I won't do it again." Like a teacher, I'm gonna security guard need to come get her.
Oh well.
Oh man.
Yeah, but he wasn't. I got stories, but I don't know. We probably need to air them.
Yeah, I figure out to ask. What's you keep up with him? What's he doing nowadays? See.
I haven't talked to him in a couple of months. I'm trying to think when last. Because his coaching, man, it consumes a lot.
Oh yeah,
it consumes a lot. It's been a couple of months. I had talked to him on the phone probably about a couple of months ago. He's back and forth from Athens and Monticello.
Okay,
his hometown. He's a country boy. Them country boys go back home.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they go back home.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you keep up with Thomas Davis still?
Yeah. Most definitely. He's one of my close friends. I try to, I'm one of them guys. I'm not a bugaboo. I'm not gonna bug you, but I hit you up. I know you're busy, and I hit you up here and there. I know you got a lot going on, and family too. So it's one of them type deals. But when we talk, it's brothers. We're brothers. It's just like one of my real brothers. When we talk and we see each other. But I'm one of them guys. I give you space.
Yeah.
I give you space. I'm not gonna kill you with it, but I still love you like day one.
Is he still living back in Charlotte? I know he's playing with the Chargers or San Diego.
That's a good question because I talked to him when he first got to San Diego, but I haven't talked to him probably about since the season started. He's been busy. I've been busy, so I haven't talked to him.
And he was a guy that wasn't really all that highly rated coming out of high school, right?
No. We had old school blue collar defense back in the day where I think we was a team. We would find guys, diamond in the rough guys, guys that a lot of bigger schools didn't want, and we were actually successful. So I give them a round of applause for being good recruiters because you gotta. You're taking chances. You sign the kids that nobody don't know of, but you understand and you can evaluate talent.
Yeah, very true.
If you can do that, you can do anything. You'll be real successful. And we had some good guys. We had some good coaches up there that were real good in evaluating talent. And we stole like Tim Jennings. With South Carolina State. He was about to get ready to go to South Carolina State. We came out of nowhere.
Wow. Who was his lead recruiter? Do you remember?
I'm not sure about him.
Who was your lead recruiter? Who's the one that calling you all time?
Coach Garner.
Okay. He's at
Auburn now, right?
Yeah, he's doing really well.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you tell with Thomas Davis, and Odell and some of these guys when they got to campus that they had something that they could?
I didn't know. That was my first time. When we first got there, I knew a couple guys, but I didn't really know nothing about them because they wasn't highly recruited, so I really didn't, know till they signed or until I met them that summer.
But could you tell when you got out on the practice field that they?
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. It was you got them guys out there blowing people up, and you can see the attitude and the way they played the game. Yeah. I saw them. I didn't know how great they was going to be, but I knew they were some football players, some good football players.
Yeah, Georgia's got a pretty tough matchup against Texas A&M. We'll end with this. What's your thoughts on the game, and what's the prediction for Texas A&M? I heard it's supposed to be a little rainy too, so it's going to be pretty pretty.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but I tell you this, I think we got to go out there and beat Georgia, and do our thing. We go run the ball, let's go run it. We go throw it, let's go throw it. Defense, come be the best defense in the country. I think we got to be ourselves. We don't you don't got to go reinvent the wheel. Go be yourselves. Play some tough physical football and overwhelm them with that violence.
All right. Yeah, I agree. Just don't turn the ball over. Get special teams.
Yep.
I think back to what you were saying. I think the 4 turnovers, maybe even that 12 o'clock game against South Carolina.
You
can't caught them on a bad day.
You can't turn the ball over 4 times and think you go win.
That's it.
Good. All right. Well, I know we really appreciate you taking some time after practice, and really appreciate you coming on the podcast again this year.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
And what's one quick one? What's the next steps for you? Maybe looking at bigger type coaching role with a.
I'm waiting on that phone call. I most definitely would love to coach on the bigger levels. That's my goal. That's my goal. I'm gonna keep on chopping, like they say, keep chopping
wood
until I get that phone call. But I've been coaching small college football for 10 years. I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
I'm just waiting on somebody to take that shot, pull that trigger. I'm ready.
All right. Well, good luck to you, and we're definitely pulling for you, and hope you're able to advance your career.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, all right. Sure thing.
All right, Greg. Appreciate it, and go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
All right. Thank you.